everybody. So Carl and I are about 2 years, 3 months into our trip. It's kind of coming to an end because we're leaving Sri Lanka now and heading to Canada for our last 5 months, which wasn't planned, but that's how it's going. But part of the really cool, a really cool part of this trip has been a bit unexpected, and it's just come about from just trying to live as cheaply as possible for as long as we can. And so just trying to stretch out our stuff for as long as we can and just losing that whole mentality of when things are broken, you just throw them away and buy something new. And it's kind of become a challenge for me to try and make things last for as long as possible. So in India, everywhere when you buy things, they give you these wonderful cloth bags. They don't give out plastic bags ever. So I've just been using this as a book bag, and I've managed to use my handy little sewing kit and re-stitch this. My socks. Think back to the days of grandmothers and great-grandmothers and darning socks. Not only have I darned these socks once, and you will see I have darned them also there twice. And I think almost every sock now has had this, and I've come to the point where if I have to do it more than twice, they go in the bin. Underwear, yes, underwear, have also been stitched here, here. That has now turned into a big long run. So these are going in the bin. T-shirt, which was once nice and brand new from Mountain Equipment Co-op. Now I look like a dirty backpacker, so I don't even wear this out anymore. This just has to go in the bin. Fully full of holes everywhere, on the neck, under the arms. Oh, this is the worst one. No one actually sees me in this anymore. My trusty $10 or $15 Kathmandu backpack from forever ago. Just thought I'd throw it in on this trip because it folds up to nothing and weighs nothing, but means it is also extremely thin. It has now gone through so many washes that the inside waterproof lining is completely gone, so it has no waterproofing anymore. My mom was kind enough to add a chest strap onto here. Just sew this handy little bit on so I can clip it in the front. And it gets quite heavy when I pack it like this. So this part has torn numerous times, and I've had it fixed on a number of occasions. It's also been reinforced. And a lady in the Philippines did a nice little stitch job there to fix up that hole. This might also go in the bin when we get home. And the zipper right now has an issue. I've had to put a little piece of string on this zipper, so I know that I can only open it this way, because if I open and close it on this side, it just keeps on opening. So it can only get zipped one way now. Otherwise it doesn't close. Onto the airline bag. So this is what we put our backpacks in to get on the plane to keep all our straps protected. Looks good, right? My handy mum sewed this for me over the years. It's had a bit of a beating on the airplanes, and it's had many fix-it jobs. Carl, can you zoom in on that? There's lots of little patches from numerous people around the world, and stitches. Yeah, more patches there. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I've got my I got my use out of that, and I also think this is going in the garbage after this flight. Backpack cover loaned to me from my parents, which unfortunately I don't think I'm giving back. Thank you, Mountain Equipment Co-op. Carl, in all his MacGyver skills, has used some nice duct tape to get rid of a very big tear that was in this. This also is going in the bin. Shoes. My Keens have been awesome. I've had them for our whole trip and for some time before this trip. They have now been stitched and restitched. In Vietnam, I had this stitched. It's now come apart. And I had them stitched there. It's now coming apart. This has torn, and I've had to sew it. And the entire heel the other day flipped right off for the second time, and Carl got a 50-cent tube of super glue and glued it all together. So it's good enough until we get back to Canada. And then these are going in the bin. Hiking boots. So I bought these about a year before we went to Nepal. Didn't wear them too much. And while we were trekking in Nepal, apparently an absurd amount of hiking was done there and is not normal wear and tear according to the manufacturer. This started happening. Stitching coming undone. There goes all the strength and all the waterproofing. And, oh, no, the bottom of that one's pretty good. Same thing on here. It's completely falling apart. All the stitching's coming apart. All the mesh is gone. And the bottom of this shoe, this black bit, has completely torn off of this one. And bits have fallen out of there. But luckily, when I talked to Merrill, Fabulous Shoe Company, they said this goes beyond regular wear and tear, but for this one instance, we will replace your shoes for you. So when we get to Canada, I can just go into a shop and say, here you go, and I can grab a new pair. So these two are going in the garbage. All right, and one more thing, probably the thing that's fallen apart the most on this trip, these wonderful shorts that I've had forever. So it all started with the seams coming apart. Yeah, those tearing apart. Then I started to see little holes appearing, and I was wondering, so I've sewn up these holes here and here and here, but then again it's ripped again. Same on this side. But I wondered why there were no holes on the right side, but always holes on the left side. Until I figured out one day that when we go hiking and I decide not to wear my pack on both shoulders, I always default to wearing it hanging over my left shoulder. Hence, it rubs on my butt and wears away my shorts. So the final straw for these shorts was, when I was talking on the phone with my mom, and I was just sitting like this, and they always sort of bend here, and I was just playing with them like this, and all of a sudden it just tore. And the next time I went to put them on, my toe went through the tiny little tear, and now it's a massive rip. So these poor shorts are also going in the garbage. I'm happy to report that Carl and I have both stayed in much better shape than our clothing, and we are good to go.